Well, 6 months from tomorrow, the leadership of the Democratic Party will gather on the floor of a basketball arena in Milwaukee and formally nominate their presidential candidate. Now, at this point, as of right now, there's a strong chance that nominee will be Bernie Sanders. If that happens, if Sanders becomes the official leader of the Democratic Party, there will be chaos. The party's funders on Wall Street will recoil in terror at what's to come. They'll be joined in that terror by the establishment class in New York and Los Angeles, as well as by the entire intel and foreign policy bureaucracies in Washington. And all of these people demand to know one thing. How'd this happen? How did Bernie Sanders become the Democratic nominee? And that's a good question. Here's part of the answer. It all started last night at the Democratic debate in Des Moines, when CNN President Jeff Zucker decided to destroy the Sanders for President campaign. Now, Zucker poses as a television executive, but he operates like a political consultant. His latest client is the Democratic establishment, which has dispatched him to crush Bernie Sanders before he can take control of the party. So just before last night's debate, CNN ran a story claiming, without any proof at all, that Bernie Sanders had once told Elizabeth Warren that a woman could not be president. Sanders denied that charge vigorously, but the message was unmistakable and crystal clear. He's a sexist. Don't vote for him.
Senator Sanders, I do want to be clear here. You're saying that you never told Senator Warren that a woman could not win the election.
That is correct.
Senator Warren, what did you think when Senator Sanders told you a woman could not win the election?
I disagreed.
Chris Plante spent many years working at CNN. Thankfully, he's gone now and hosts the Chris Plante Show, which is excellent. He joins us tonight. So I can't imagine if you're at CNN and you're putting on this show that you think other people aren't going to notice that it's a hit on Bernie Sanders?
Well, you know, and I know that all of these people live in this incredibly well-insulated bubble, and they don't really know what's going on outside of the newsroom, outside of the building, outside of their social circles. And I honestly think they're unaware. You know, Tucker, you mentioned the question also, the Abby Phillip question, and yes, you played a part of it. The longer version of that, Abby Phillip actually, in the setup to the question, says that Elizabeth Warren confirmed, that's the word that she used, confirmed the other day that you said this. Now, CNN broke the story, right, which means it was fed to CNN by someone in Elizabeth Warren's camp, possibly Elizabeth Warren herself. And then Abby Phillip had the temerity to say, and Elizabeth Warren confirmed the story for us. I mean, that's, once again, we've seen a lot of this the last couple of years, circular reporting, and you have the same source and you pretend they're two different sources. You got the original source, Elizabeth Warren's camp, and then the confirmation source is Elizabeth Warren. It's so appalling from start to finish. And clearly, Tucker, CNN is sticking it to Bernie. I think they see a division taking place on the left wing of the Democratic Party, and their chosen one is Elizabeth Warren. I mean, look, Bernie is, you know, kind of bad. He's got food stuck between his teeth. He's always spitting. He, you know, he's not the ideal candidate. And you're right, Jeff Zucker, like Hooker, as he likes to say, looks like he's chosen his horse, and it's Elizabeth Warren. Everybody on CNN last night, the panel afterward, oh, great night for Elizabeth Warren. I didn't see the same movie they were watching, I guess.
It's remarkable the kind of Stalinist unity they managed to pull off. I mean, on a normal TV channel like this one, there's a whole diversity of views. People have different opinions about things. Over on CNN, it's just so obvious that Jeff Zucker, and maybe speaking through his eunuch or whatever, has issued the order, we're against Bernie, we're going to take him out, he's bad news for our party, the Democratic Party, let's do it. He doesn't see how that could be counterproductive in the end?
Well, I mean, I got to tell you, the Bernie Bros also are on fire. We saw and you were playing it last night from the Project Veritas, one of the Bernie Bros, talking about burning Milwaukee, where they're having the Democratic convention this year, if Bernie is once again denied, and he was robbed. We learned from the hacked Russian, the DNC emails, that the DNC, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, then DNC chair, and others really sabotaged Bernie and stole it from, whether he was going to win or not. But he didn't have a chance after they got done with him, and they're crooked. And now the DNC kind of, I think, has to take a step back because they know the Bernie people are furious, and they already got caught once. So Zucker and CNN and others in the media are apparently picking up the slack and kind of taking the baton. Not too many metaphors here, but they're moving this process forward where Bernie has to go out. And if they're going to have one person representing the left wing of the Democratic Party, it's going to be Elizabeth Warren.
If you want to calm the country down, you have to convince people the system is not rigged, that it's fair. And CNN has just done a lot to make everybody, particularly on the left, the hard left, a lot more angry and paranoid. It really doesn't help America at all, I would say, to be as dishonest.
Look, if at this late stage of the game you're still depending on CNN and other mainstream media to provide you with square and honest truth, it's your fault. At this point, it's your fault. Wake up.
That is a fair point. Chris Plante, great to see you. Always.
Thanks, Tucker.